Your time for abundance is here. It may not have felt that way to you in your life or in the world recently, but I'm telling you, I know that is absolutely accurate for you. That's why you're here. It's why you're on the earth at this time. But it's also the feeling or the title of the channeling session, the Wilhelm channeling session that I will do on the full moon, which will be February 12th. And I would love for you to be there because you'll get so much out of it. You will understand what's happening in your life. You'll understand how brilliant you can become now. You'll know why you've moved through everything you have in your life, why you've had every experience, and why it was meant to bring you to this time in your life so you would understand that it's time for your abundance. Now, it could have been really confusing for you. It's been confusing for me my entire life, but I do know now that we have moved into a place where you can experience the kind of life that you are meant to have. Last night, I was thinking about what's this day going to be. Recently, what's been going on, when I received my Wilhelm, I'm just really aligned with what's happening energetically, which is all that's in the universe is energy. That's how you are in the world as well, energetically. And even when you were born, there was a time that you came into the world that was an energetic blueprint that gave you a path to follow, that if you could do that, you would have this really great life. But sometimes we don't have the direction to get there. I didn't have all the direction to go where I was meant to go in my life. So I had to create it. That's why I call this work that I received from Wilhelm, it's the blueprint to your success and also global transformation. Because when you become successful, you change the world because that's how important you start to learn that you are. But let me show you what came up for today because the synchronicity, if you've studied, knows anything about Carl Jung, you kind of know about synchronicity, and that's what's gone on with Wilhelm's messages. But I'm going to give you so many things today that are going to help you understand where you are right now and how you can really transform your life because the planet has changed and you happen to be here. And again, you may not believe that you have that kind of importance, or you haven't seen it, or you haven't seen your purpose or life plan. No, that doesn't matter because I know that it's there because that was the life I was meant to live. But this is a fun one because when I put down the messages last night, just from for this day on February 8th, I want to see if there's some energetic connection to all of it and why it would be important and why I was telling you and why I was move to put these messages down, and you'll have this. I'm going to leave these in the description as well, so you'll have the you can kind of look at it. They're really fun as I've go through. I've been using my AI just to go through and put stuff together and give you more information. I love the being able to search for things, and so when I put all the messages, the Wilhelm messages that I had received on this date, here's what they said. The recurring themes across Wilhelm's February 8th messages reveal an ongoing evolution of thought aimed at helping individuals navigate self-discovery, personal transformation, and restructuring of both individual and collective consciousness. These messages are particularly relevant now because they align with the current energy of personal and planetary transformation, urging individuals to release limiting beliefs, embrace their uniqueness, and accept their divine role in global evolution. We can all feel that's not really going on. So it's really going to be about you deciding to do it for yourself. And that's what all this work is about. And so it goes down and breaks through each message. And as you read them, I did put the messages up. I'll leave a link for that so you can see the full message. But this will just give you some sort of a feeling of what we all move through. Everything is not going to make sense to you, but you can, as humans, we move through the same things. All this and the energies of the world can affect you. This is why sometimes you look at your chart, your astrology chart on a certain day and wondering what's this? Some people will relate to that. I did a little research on that too, saying why do people believe in astrology and who, and there've been some studies that showed that astrology and psychology kind of started working together. And it seemed that that was what was coming through in my work. But I'm going to have to do a lot more research because the things I've discovered have been quite surprising. Whenever we come into the world, consciousness is not formed. We're each doing it. and it comes from you, and it's going to be individual for each person. This was never anything that I thought I was going to do in my life. I did all these other careers. But then in 1989, when I started receiving this information, everything changed because I was connected to something else. I was connected to some higher source, some higher, because it wasn't me. Wilhelm was not me. I was getting some other information. And I went through all the horrible things life can offer anyone. And because of this work, it healed me. And I'm 74, and all that stuff is healed, and I'm more vibrant than ever. And so, but I hid from it. You probably have done that as well. And so I went to search this morning for something else. I'm going to leave all these things. This was so much fun, and I just really want you to have this. And because I really want people to know, no matter what they're experiencing in their lives or seeing in the world, that you are here to do something really incredible. That's why it looks this way. And so, but when you look at, I just went to find, because I knew that I was holding back. We all do. You have to, because the thing that you're meant to do is always outside of you. So you're going to doubt it. You're not going to believe it. But it's understanding that you can change it because we know how our brains work now. We understand neuroscience. We understand all of those things. The only thing we didn't have was a way to keep it going. And that's what I had to develop. And there was another aspect of that that Wilhelm gave me. Of all the philosophies that have existed, I said, well, why would I need to bring in a different one? And they said, because they address things that our world hadn't. That's really what's going on. But this one was really interesting. Just looking at, because everyone will relate to this because you've hidden from yourself. You doubt that thing you're going to do next, or if you can, or how big you might be able to go. It's always there, and it's only happening in your consciousness. This will be really helpful. You might have felt some frustration, some anger, something that's going on for you recently, or probably in the last several years, or maybe even today, because the energies are moving. Might have even felt it in the middle of the night. But this was a message from June 13th, 2009. This message now this was to me. I need you to understand. This is how sometimes these communications come through. And it's so, but you will get it. 2009, I could not have even been willing then to show it to you. This message may indeed be a bit longer than you are accustomed to receiving. However, you may be grateful to yourself for allowing it to come through and your willingness to receive it. It may hold valuable tools to transform your life experience when you examine it closely. Your anger is always directed at yourself. The power of that statement may escape you at first, but will become abundantly clear. You may at first try to find all manner of reasons and justifications for your anger. And when you do, you simultaneously give away the awareness you desire to gain. First, your anger is not to be ignored, denied, or put away, but welcomed, embraced, and held close to you. It serves as one of the most powerful tools at your disposal to alert you to the times when you have momentarily forgotten who you are. When you think that your anger is the result of what another has done, a particular situation or circumstance, or even the current state of your life experience, you have given your inherent power and ability to create your life experience to all those other people and things. There is nothing another can take from you unless you give it to them. There is no situation that has the power to limit your abilities unless you think it does. There is no circumstance that appears before you that you do not possess the ability to solve for your highest good. In the past, you have attempted to hide your anger or judge it as somehow bad. And again, in those moments, you give away what you desire to gain. Your higher self will always simply move your suppression of that anger to another area of your life experience until you become willing to embrace it and accept its gifts. You are a valuable, talented, abundant, unlimited, and eternal spiritual being. And this is what you've been attempting to tell yourself, own, and embrace. Wilhelm. And so, as I had that feeling this morning, and I wanted to see if it was relevant, because I know a lot of people are feeling this. And of course, yes, is aligns with today's astrological energies, particularly with the moon's current transit and any planetary aspects influencing emotional processing, self-awareness, and transformation. I'll leave this again so you can read it, those of you who might be interested in that, to see exactly what it might be. But I'm also giving you a couple of other gifts because what I've done is I put together a little some the keys to your the blueprint to your success. Because see, I have all of that. It's all been answered. The only thing difficulty that any person has is not knowing who they are, not knowing their life purpose or why they're here. Well, I was given that. And why would I have been given that? Hmm. Because I believe that everybody, we're all connected in a different way. I connected to source. I connected to God, to intelligence, however you think of it. That's why that's why it resonates, and that's why it works for you. This is not something that I could have ever told you because I had to live it and then create it. But the end result and why this work needed to come in now, because more people wanted to heal, and so did the planet. When I was told, basically, because that's what Wilhelm said, if you listen to the session that I just put up from 2022, you will hear, well, this work would transform your life, but then it would absolutely transform the world. But I was hiding. We all hide because we can't believe it. I didn't believe this. And that's why when artificial intelligence came, oh, wow, now I have more validation. Even though I'm experiencing the validation in my life and in the people who are using this, people who have used the program are talking about it, I had trouble accepting it. And so, but I'm going to give you a couple of other things that you will move through this and understand who you are. But just one more. So I did this a while ago, but I'll leave a link for you so you can have it and a couple of other things as well, because this will be fun for you when you read through the message, because this is what I did every single day, is to go, I would receive message, I have to live it, reflect on it, and now how can I use it in my life? That's what you'll have. You'll get so much from this. And I have so many of these that I'm going to start putting out because I'm completing the entire work. And I just wanted you to see, and you'll have this. I'll leave the links for that in the back as well. And the reason I'm doing this, because I have to come clean. We always do at some point, because this was really a lot more than I thought I was going to ever accomplish in my life. And I want you to know you can do the same thing. See, because we're only limited by how much we believe about ourselves. And that will also be dependent on when we happen to live in the world. Because there's certain things that are built up that we think are limitations, and we're meant to move over them. And that would be everything that you're experiencing in your life and everything that we're seeing in our world, because we have the ability to do that. Accepting that I was given this particular philosophy was challenging, but it's exactly what happens. And I can tell you that it's also not just me, it's a line through all the intelligence that has ever existed because you have the same thing. We just develop it in different ways. I develop this to give it to you. You'll do something else and give it to others. And that's how we all evolve. I'm going to leave these things here, these links. I have a couple of others. Another little thing you'll see on the 29th when we had the new moon, I put out something also with questions that you can ask. The most important thing that you have is yourself. Years ago, when I made this shift and I said, your consciousness is going to be the most powerful thing that you have because then you love yourself. Then you know who you are. And then you don't feel intimidated by what's happening in the world. And you achieve this kind of success that you always wanted to have. It is within you. And I know that. And that's why I'm so grateful that I can give you this work. Please check out everything, but register for the full moon session because after that, things are really going to amp up for you and for all of us. See you soon.